Evo, kraj čaše vina.
Okay. Bravo. Can I get your attention for a 10 seconds, please? So, I think you all enjoyed your food, and you can now suffer a little bit with us to have a what we call the Central European Association of Computational Mechanics Award ceremony, because we have decided this year, as I have already told you in the opening speech, to attribute Central European Association of basically of Computational Mechanics, and to really attribute to some kind of a fairly important prizes, because we have 7 countries, we have a very dynamic conferences like this one with 160 participants and so on. So I think it's at high time that we kind of try to honor some of the people who really contributed to the activity of the Central European Association of Computational Mechanics. We have finished the main host, which is Professor Jurica Soric. This was a special session to honor. Now there's like other smaller hosts that we want to honor this occasion. So here with me are represented the bad guys who actually decided about most of these type of awards. From the left, Professor Bernhard Pilcher, who is from TU Vienna, representing Austria. He's a past president of Central European Association of Computational Mechanics and currently the member of the executive board. He is the vice president currently, Professor János Logo from Hungary, who is actually also in this executive board. Here's Zdenko Tonkoš, that I need to represent because everybody knows who is Zdenko, because he's the one, because of him you are here. He's paying for all the bills, so you should be kind to him. And I'm Andan Ibrahimovic, I'll introduce myself, representing Bosnia in this particular contest. So what we have decided is basically to create 3 types of awards. One is really for the old guys. This is called the Professor Mang Award. To make things very clear and very precise, you know, at the level of higher level ECOMAS and ICCSM, Professor Aurukio is here representing ECOMAS, ICCSM is represented by Professor Igers, who until yesterday was the vice president. You have this Zikiewicz Award. So Professor Mang for this community is something like equivalent of Zikiewicz. And so we decided to have like a senior person honored by Professor Mang Award, which means lifelong leadership in the computational mechanics field, either university or industrial application, whoever you are. Then this year we did not receive a single application. We were hoping Jurica Soric was going to do it, but he was a modest guy. He was just happy with the session. This is called computational mechanics, guys. This is like if you're really still young enough, like Jurica and everybody else, still active, and you can go in between the young guys and these old guys to be honored, and you can go for Computational Mechanics Award of Central European Association of Computational Mechanics. So we didn't get any particular candidates this year. It was kind of too soon, but we hope to candidates this year. So please try your luck. You have these guys, they all look very nice, and we're going to expand this award committee as we go along. We just started. And finally, we have a young guy, and we decided basically, you know, we were fighting for a long time with ECOMAS, Aurukio is here, to have at least 2 representatives from Central Europe, because there's 7 countries. But ECOMAS people are tough, so we get only 1. I said at least if he wins or she wins, today there are many younger ladies who are into the business, so why not she? Basically, it's really the question that at least they get 1 award, and then they can go to higher level, ECOMAS and so on and so forth. So these are like 3 awards here. So I'll start with representing the first award, and this is really a long-term representative of our community. Can you just move up? Sorry about that, just a second. The panorama start from the beginning, okay. And then I move next one. So here are these awards, and I'm going to get the first one, which is Professor Vladimir Kompiš, who is representative of Slovakia. Actually, he is one of the really founding fathers of the Central European Association of Computational Mechanics, together with Professor Mang. Professor Kompiš, actually, the main thing that actually characterizes his work, was born in August, on August 26, 1941, in Slovakia. He has done his education at Military Academy in Brno, and then his doctoral degree at Aachen University in Germany, with later on habilitation and so on in Slovakia. He was very active in CEACM Center in Udine. Then he had collaboration with Rice University of Houston, University of Beirut, and so on and so forth. I'm just getting the salient features. You can read all the details behind. It's going to be also on our website. And he was not only first in the beginning vice president, and he was from 2002 to 2005 the president of Central European Association of Computational Mechanics. He was member of many editorial boards of different journals. Now you have to remember, when I read these numbers, that was a little bit different times. So maybe if you don't seem so impressed, you have to understand the context. He has had 15 PhD students, and then altogether 30 graduates, probably master students, and so on and so forth. And he wrote 38 articles with a kind of a Scopus index of age. But again, as I said, this was a previous time, so probably at that time nobody knew what Scopus was and what is the Web of Science, so they did not cite the things anyway at the same time. But at least we found that he was really very meritorious for development of Central European Association of Computational Mechanics, and the board decided with my participation that basically he really well deserves this what you call it Professor Mang Award. So basically, I really wanted to congratulate him. And, I hope this is going to work. Professor Kompish could not be with us. Just a second, but he did prepare this video. Let me see if this is going to work. If I go to next slide, yeah.
Yes.
Somehow it turns to me. Let me see if I can do it this way. Sorry about that.
Can you put it somewhere here? Because here's the microphone.
Anyway. So how does it work?
Maybe the video volume here. No, there's no volume at all.
Anyway.
Where's the movie originally in the file? Please.
Anyway, maybe I stop this because it's not going to be, it's going to lead a, let me just say,
Yeah, quickly.
let me say in words what he was going to say. He said, first of all, that he was very happy that he was attributed this award, that he knew Professor Mang personally, and everything is like they started the whole thing together. And he wished us, first of all, he was thankful to all the type of recognition, and he wished us the success for the things to come. Recognizing that things have changed, the science is different, and he wanted that the young people take a very active participation. So it was like a 3-minute, 5-minute speech. Unfortunately, the technology of the present day, because we don't produce these things in Croatia, in Germany, in France, these serious countries, or Austria, or CEACM countries, we produce it in China, whatever, and these other things. So it's not so reliable like when it was happy time when we were producing all these things. Hopefully we'll come back to our place. So this is now I pass the presentation to Professor Janusz Logar, because I was not involved in the rest of that.
Good evening for everybody. It's my honor to say some words about our job. We had a really difficult task to select who get in this year the Mang Award. This selection was really exceptional because we suggested in this year 2 awards, namely the second place, but not in the second one. It was goes to Professor Adnan Ibrahimovic. And Actually, I guess no need a lot of words to introduce his work, because this community most probably used his work as a cited and background study. But those, let's say, PhD students who maybe not knew him, I say some words about his activity and about his life. Adnan did his PhD studies and postdoc studies at Berkeley, US, as Fulbright scholar for the former ex-Yugoslavia. He is first known for his work on finite rotation in 3D elements, and which play a critical role in geometrically exact theoretical formulation of structural mechanics, rods and structure, and flexible multi-body system dynamics. His seminal papers on the subject of draw at present more than 1,000 citations. His more recent work pertaining a multi-scale modeling approach of localized failure in heterogeneous materials capable of replacing homogenization by combined finite element and discrete element, and have also been recognized and indicated with highly cited papers. In addition, he maybe doesn't know well, but in his work, the finite element work is used in topology optimization, where the checkerboard pattern is a really difficult task to avoid. And applying his finite element, this phenomena can naturally disappear. That's what we use in. So thanks for your work. That was, and finishing this work, his late graduate textbook, subject on nonlinear solid mechanics, is placed in the best 25% of the sales on Springer engineering series. The short course taught on his book was offered more than 20 times in different countries in Europe. This, for example, in France, Braunschweig, Germany, Pavia, Innsbruck, Tampere, and so on. Practically, the most significant number of, he has 44 doctoral students, postdoc 11, and even he helped 3 habilitations. He has several connections with different companies. Let's say in optimization field, which I know very well, let's say Altair company, and of course he has connection with different university professors for several countries. Adnan, congratulate, and really I'm personally happy that you were among the first to get this.
I'm really, first of all, I was not involved, just to say that we are not completely like a high-level mafia. We are just a smaller mafia, I would say. I was not involved in this voting, and they really, my colleagues decided that we split this time, we make a conception that we make not only 1 award, but 2, because these are different categories. And as we go along, we'll maybe carry on with this kind of ambiguities to maybe a little bit, have it more. You wanted to say something?
Yes. He was not present when we discussed the award.
So I'm completely innocent. I'm not going to go to prison. But the thing really, what I'm honored, I want to say something seriously. First of all, really, I'm thankful to my colleagues. I'm thankful to all of you, to my former collaborators, especially I'm most thankful to Professor Herbert Mang, with whom I contacted personally to ask him if it is okay that we ask the highest honor to be Professor Mang. And he really accepted that. I really feel honored that I got the Professor Mang Award. This is really a big deal for me. And second point is, I hope still I'm in this category. Some time ago, I was making a course with Professor Rucchio in Pavia with my one of my former advisors, Professor Bob Taylor. And one nice looking Italian girl told me, oh, I saw so many citations, Professor Adnan Ibrahimovic. I thought that was an old guy who was like, you know, already ready to go away from this planet. But you really are a good looking young guy. So I hope I'm still in this category, although it happened 10 years ago. So hopefully this is going to work, especially we're going to switch now to young categories. Thank you very much. So the next one is really the most important award in my eyes. This is the award that goes to the best PhD thesis. So this time I really have a great pleasure to say that the candidate who was selected for the best thesis award His name is Henrik Tamas Sikora, who did his PhD thesis at the University of Budapest, at let's say within the project which was awarded the ERC Advanced Grant. So I would say definitely had a very fortunate type of environment, because not many ERC Advanced Grants, I was in this panel for many years, had been awarded, and the fact that he was working on one advanced grant project is definitely one of these type of indications he was well placed. But all the merit goes to him, because not only he was working with the high-level professors, he himself is very high-level student. What his advisor wrote, he said, it is great pleasure to recommend Henrik Sikora PhD thesis with the title being Dynamics of Stochastic Mechanical System with delay for the ECOMAS Best Thesis Award and the Best Thesis of CEACM. He said that he was already very talented from the early work. I'm not going to repeat that, but he said more importantly, during his PhD studies, he started working on another novel topic, which had the primary goal of his thesis was to analyze how the stochastically varying cutting force influenced dynamics of machining process. To that end, he developed a tool, the stochastic standardization method, SDM, that allowed the efficient analysis of stability and steady state behavior of stochastic differential equations with stochastically varying delay. To validate this result, he also initiated and published the stochastical delay software, which is now available for download, which is based on Monte Carlo method and this type of thing. So he applied this to investigate tuning and military process and so forth. He was awarded a really very important type of recognition of some kind of, let's say, industry recognition and so on and so forth. And at the present, he is a postdoc. After one being in Edinburgh, now he is what I understood in Southampton, right? And he could not be with us. Although I have to say, as a part of the award, they get the free passage to this conference. Me and organizer Professor Tolkoch already agreed, but probably he is even better paid in England, you know. So he really did not come. But I think he's with us with the Zoom. Let me see if you have something to say. Are you there?
Yes.
Take over the screen if you want. Say something, please.
Yeah. So thank you for awarding me with this award. It's been an honor, and I will work hard to live up to it. So thanks for.
So you see, he's not only a very good guy, but he's also a very modest guy. He just had a very short speech. He wants you to not wait too much for the coffee or digest it. So very good luck for the next of your career. If you want to do postdoc with me, I can hire you. I don't know how much they pay you in England, but maybe I can offer you a comparable price because interesting what you've done. Thank you very much. And then let me just go to this one, because this is also new for him. I wanted to really show you how hard we were working. Basically, the idea goes as follows. These are the kind of grades that the award committee has been assigning to the different candidates in the Best Thesis Award. And I really take pride to say that my colleagues and I were trying to evaluate this thesis in a very impartial way. You know, it's not like, you know, not to say anybody's bad thing. You know, Bosnians are putting Bosnians and so on and so forth. We are really like professionals, and like in this ERC panel that I had the privilege to chair, you can see that really this is relative to the highest standard. The proof is, statistically speaking, we actually found ourselves with the 3 perfect candidates. So 3 candidates had 63 points. And then after that, 2 candidates had 62 points. And if I look into the kind of prominent lecture of this, I remember the presentation of Professor Gias. He couldn't be with us tonight. He was talking about tokamaks. We had one thesis on tokamaks. Honestly, it was very high level. It was almost like the same level as Gias, maybe even higher, because this was a young lady from Slovenia of Macedonian origin, and she was doing analysis of tokamaks. Then we had a thesis from Austria. It was a thesis from Czech Republic, and so on. So there were really 5 candidates who could have won. So it was really like cutting edge. So the main message I wanted to make to you, it has been a long time since candidates from Croatia won. So you see, you have many, statistically speaking, probably the biggest number of young people here are from Croatia. So the last guy who won is called Mio Nikolic, and after him, Vuko Vukičić. So it's a shame that Croatia didn't win since 2016. My God, and what are you doing? You're sleeping. Go hell. go leave the banquet and start working on the thesis. We need the deadline for applying is the end of January 23, and you please come up with the possible biggest number of applications. So I hope really some of these winners will be even better theses that we had pleasure to share this year. So thank you very much for this. I hope we did not disturb you too much. You can have your dishes tea after this. I wish you all a safe trip back home, and thank you really for coming, for making this ceremony a little bit more official. At least we have some people who get some kind of advantage. So really, the whole idea, we have to, we decided to have every year one of these thematic conferences to be like where you get the maximum number of the committee members and stuff like that to kind of get a little bit more activities. And I really think that this is worthy goal that you have to do. So thanks a lot on behalf of organizers. If you want to say something, and then safe trip back home, enjoy Pula if you're not leaving immediately. Maybe tomorrow will be a sunny day. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot. Bye-bye. Thank you. Everybody, thanks a lot for being here. Next time. Jože, too bad you couldn't be here, but next time, huh?
Okay.
Jože.
Yeah.
Jože.
Hey, who is there?
To je bio Lovre.
Lovre. Evo, čakaj, samo da stavim sliku. Gdje si?
Lovre.
Evo.
Otišao na kolače, ne?
Ja, vidim.
Pobjegao je. Ajde, naredni
pobjegao.
put. Trebao bi da
Dobro.
dođeš na ovu konferenciju u Sarajevu, država. To bi bilo šteta ne dođeš, a? Nadam se da se u redu. Pozdravljam svo društvo u Sloveniji. Čujemo se. Ciao.
Čujemo se.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Everybody, thanks a lot for joining in. See you soon. Bye-bye.